She's in the waiting room.
Okay, cool.
All right, welcome folks. Glad to have you here. We're getting a few things set up in the room, so we should be starting shortly.
Woohoo!
Good morning, Ava. Let's do a mic check.
In the room, so we should be starting shortly.
Woohoo!
Uh-oh,
Ava, go
that's
ahead
gonna
and
be weird
unmute yourself
feedback.
and let's see if we can hear you.
Hey, hey.
Hey. Good. So we'll have you show your screen. Good morning, in a little Ava. Bit. Let's do a mic check.
In the room, so we should be starting shortly.
Woohoo!
Uh-oh,
Ava, go
that's
ahead and
gonna be weird
unmute yourself
feedback.
and let's see if we can hear you.
Hey, hey.
Hey. Good.
Good morning, everybody.
Eric,
So we'll have
make
you show your good morning,
Ava
Ava.
a co-host.
Let's do a mic check.
In the room,
I'm hearing like a
Yeah,
feedback.
it's my fault.
Okay.
Jason, are you riding on your drone today or what?
Yeah. It's well, Paul and everybody had these cool stuff. So I was tired of being a Zoom Luddite, so I had to up my Zoom game. And in full disclosure, I'm using the beauty filter too. So
Your Zoom game is upped.
if it's too distracting, I can put just like a regular photo. I have that up.
That's awesome. Don't
Yeah.
change it.
you're too beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
If people get bored listening to me, they can watch you.
There you go.
Yeah, but you'll never have Paul's magic disappearing headphones, Jason.
Oh, but I can click over to see Carl. There's
Let's see.
Are gone. See,
Hey, Eric,
the secret
Yes.
is a green screen.
you need to make Ava a co-host so she can show her screen when it's her turn.
Will do.
Thanks.
Oh, what a great looking crew we've got out there. That's fantastic.
Right? Are we ready? Do we feel we're ready to get kicked off here?
Well, it feels like we're pretty close.
9 o'clock.
Oh.
Artie's head disappears.
Well,
Kirby's ready.
what's that?
Kirby's ready.
Kirby's ready?
Bring the dog.
All right. Well, if you think I'm ready, Eric, we're live on YouTube, right?
We're live on YouTube. Yeah, it looks like we've got a great crew here in the house. That's fantastic.
Yay.
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Cool. All right. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to 1 Million Cups. And for those of you who haven't attended before, what happens is an entrepreneur shares their journey as well as their challenges. And then we as the audience can help them with their challenges as well as ask them questions that might help them think about their business in a new way. And let's see. So I want to mention that for those of you watching on YouTube Live, feel free to, if you have questions for the entrepreneur or comments about their challenges, feel free to make the comments in YouTube. We have Adam, one of our organizers, is watching our YouTube, and he will make sure to ask those questions for you. And those of you who are on Zoom, when we get to that point, feel free to post in the chat if you have questions. And Eric or I will call you up to ask them live. So let's see. And then I want to talk about real quick our sponsors. And go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat, your name, your business. But also I do want to mention our wonderful sponsors, because when we do get back to doing this live, we will have our sponsors in the room. So first of all, Fat Pipe ABQ, which is where we have our events. And Fat Pipe ABQ is a co-working space, and I, for one, hate working from home, and I cannot wait to be able to work back at Fat Pipe again. But if you are tired of working from home and you want to look for a co-working space when all this is done, check out Fat Pipe ABQ or Fat Pipe Rio Rancho. We also have Jason Collin Photography, and Jason's on our Zoom today with his cool background. And Jason is our official photographer. He's amazing. You guys check him out if you're looking for photography. What am I thinking of? Drone photography as well, drone videos. All right, we also have Tune In ABQ. So Charles Garrison is one of our organizers, and he helped take over 1 Million Cups when we immediately had to go from live to online. So thank you, Charles. We also had Noventum Custom Software. They usually bring the donuts, and I am missing donuts. I do have coffee though, so that's good. I hope you all have coffee as well. Loza and Loza, they pay for our coffee when we all get to meet again, and we all appreciate that. Sparks Flow, Adam usually Sparks Brechtel is our one of our organizers, and he takes care of our live feed. And then More Than Organized usually purchases our creamer. So I cannot wait to be able to see you all again live. And let's see, Paul, if you can tell me in the chat what our activity will be today, and so that everyone else will kind of know what that will be. And we will have an activity. But I think that's it. I think it's time for me to hand this over to Adam. Adam, are you there?
Yeah, just had to flip through a couple pages. Yeah,
Okay.
so good morning. We, Lisa and I actually talked with Ava Shihei, and she is with Zen Marketing and has a delightful program going on there. So she's going to tell us about their marketing system. And Ava, are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, you go ahead and push share screen, and it'll ask you if you really want to do that. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. This is my business, Zenbox Marketing, and we're a digital marketing agency for small businesses. And my story, I moved to Santa Fe for the art market. I was focusing in art marketing, and it really surprised me to see the opportunities for marketing online because Santa Fe has such a strong tourism industry. So being able to continue those sales through the off months was really important for small businesses in Santa Fe. And so once I started digging more into online marketing specifically, I fell down the rabbit hole and started developing websites, and realized that there was just such a need for this that that I can make a digital marketing business. And we have clients in Santa Fe, Albuquerque, and even in other states as well. And this is our team here. And some of those people are here today. And so we have 6 people that have formed a collaboration to really specialize in their chosen fields and come together to provide this whole marketing package for small businesses. So we focus on building online presence, and that's really important now, especially for businesses that are transitioning to online. Some of our clients are even closing their brick and mortar stores and transitioning their sales to just online and increasing their digital presence right now. So we're glad that we've already built a foundation for them, and we're working to increase their web presence every month, really. This is our process of, we start with branding when we start with a new client, and we make sure that their messaging is really clear. They know exactly what kind of customer is their most profitable customer, who they're trying to target. And then we look at their website. If they don't the diagram is kind of our monthly cycle of we look at strategy and we see what are opportunities based on web data of what are people searching for, and where are opportunities for us to create content where not a lot of people are talking about what these people are searching for. So that's an opportunity for us to show up in the search results and drive relevant traffic to the website. So our content creation, I'll walk you through a client that we have and kind of show you how that works every month. This is an imaging center in Tennessee that we work for, and they do medical imaging, all the different services here. Each of these is an opportunity to build out content so that if people are looking for where do I get an MRI, where do I get a mammogram, that locally this practice will show up. And for content creation, we started a cancer alliance for this client, and it's a way to get out their information about cancer prevention, because a lot of their scans have to do with detecting cancer early. So this is a way of letting the community know that that they care about the health of the community and preventing cancer, and it's sending out information about lifestyle changes that people can make to prevent cancer. Half of all cancer is preventable, but it's not something that a lot of people are talking about. And during COVID, we found an opportunity to talk about healthy food delivery in the town specifically. And so this was a way to outreach for local content and network with other restaurants in the community, get them to share all the content as well. And this was really popular content. It led back to the information from the Cancer Alliance on diet, and we got permission from the American Institute of Cancer Research to publish all of the known dietary factors that influence cancer risk. We put out a video every month, and then we're posting to social media and tagging the different businesses we network with, getting involved in other local groups. This is a group in Santa Fe where it's a retail business, and we built out an e-commerce site for them. Gabriella did all this photography and reaching out to people who are interested in textiles from around the world. And we did a video series for them showing how to wear these different clothing items. And it's a way to build out content for these websites online. So this woman, this is Cass, a dancing lady. She's on Canyon Road, and usually, oh, that was my timer. Usually someone would have to come into the store to hear what she has to say about the pieces she's passionate about, but now she can send this out to everyone who's ever been in the store and left their email, and then reach new audiences from the content as well. And that's my overview of what we do at Zenbox Marketing.
Okay, Ava, I didn't hear what your challenges are as a business. Can you share what those are?
Yes, thank you. Challenges are, there's really a big need for this right now. And for us to be able to move the needle for a client, it really works well for us to work with them long-term and dedicate at least an hour a day to going in, engaging, building out more content, seeing where the opportunities are. So for us, a challenge has been to really be selective with our clients and make sure that it's going to be a good long-term relationship, and that they're willing to dedicate the resources to put in what's needed to see actual results. So our revenue model too, it's a retainer base.
Cool. Thank you, Ava. Yeah, so we've got a few questions or a few comments on the chat, but we don't have anybody that's actually asked a question quite yet out there. Oh, wait. Paul asked a question. So Paul, would you like to?
Yeah. So who is your ideal client?
I'm finding that our clients now, and even when I'm talking with prospective clients, that it's usually companies that have from 5 to 50 employees that are the ones who are going to have a marketing budget and really be able to build out their online content, and but still not large enough to where they already have their in-house marketing team. So where we really fit in best is when a company doesn't already have a marketing team, and we provide a way that they can afford a whole team and incrementally be putting out content every month.
Thanks. And Miriam also has a question. Miriam, are you able to talk? Let me check if I need to unmute you.
Yeah.
Great.
Can you hear me? Am
Yes.
I unmuted? Okay. Hi, Eva. Wondering if someone already has a brand and quite a bit of the strategy and content already in place, are you able to help fine tune and execute the plan?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, going back to our little diagram, yeah, usually a business already does have branding in place, and what we're doing is starting with an audit, and we're looking at all of their competitors to local competitors and who else has a very similar value proposition, and how are you standing out compared to them? Is your message that you're putting out really the most important benefit that your target customer is looking for? So we do a little bit of tweaking at first and make sure that we know exactly what message we're putting out and to whom, because that's going to be a guide for the rest of our marketing. Every month we're going to go back to that and say, okay, within what you provide and the type of people you're targeting, what's a content opportunity for us?
Cool. We may be speaking soon.
Cool.
Cool. Also, do you have your contact information? How do people get a hold of you?
Yes. Do you see it on the right of the screen here? Are you able to see that?
No.
Maybe the middle of the screen.
All I see is the middle, the branding, website, strategy, content. I don't see any contact info.
Okay. Well, then let me paste it in the chat.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, and actually, we also want to be able to have our YouTube video keeps to be able to see it.
Yeah, let me, I bet I know how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll enter it in the same window that,
Yeah.
There we go.
And by the way, there's no current questions on YouTube. So just to that audience, if you have questions, put them in the chat and we'll ask them on your behalf.
Cool.
So
Yeah, Peter Oakley's here. He's our website concierge. He takes really good care of all of our websites. Gabriella, she's our wonderful photographer and has a great photography business. I see Stacy Sacco here. He's a great connector in New Mexico, and he puts out lists of all the different resources for small businesses, which is awesome. My fairy godmother's here, Lourdes Crocker. She makes fabulous dresses. And I see my mom is here. She's been a great encourager for me.
So Lisa, you have a question?
I do. Ava, who owns ZenBox?
I own Zenbox, and each of the members in our team here are all business owners, all focused on what they do. And whenever a client needs something with their digital marketing, I'm always looking for the person who can do it best. And these are people that I've worked with on several projects and then said, hey, let's join together and just provide this awesome marketing package.
I love the collaboration model that you've set up. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, and I see Danielle here too. She's at Mountain Vector Energy. I do the marketing for them, and they're an awesome team to work with.
All right. So David Murphy has a question. David, are you ready?
Yeah. I just was curious, Ava, in terms of the involvement that your clients have with you in the process of branding and creative. Are you more preferable that they sort of leave it to you and do it like a turnkey deal, or is it really collaborative, or is it a mixture? What do you tend to find is the trend in that?
Yeah, it's really dependent on how much the client wants to be involved, because some people just want it all taken care of, and then we provide a monthly report and show, hey, this is what we did, this is what happened. And some clients, I meet with them on a weekly or bi-weekly basis to go over all the content with them and see if they have input, and look for opportunities from everyone to see if they can contribute.
Cool. So,
Actually, I had a question.
yes.
Ava, can you bring back up your contact info? So I have a question about this picture. What's going on here? It looks like you're working out in the middle of the forest.
Yeah. So this is my yard, and I have a little outside office. I have a few little outside stations. And so I like to kind of move around during the day sometimes. If it's a nice day outside, I like to work outside. So this is my tree that I strapped a milk crate to, and it works just fine.
I love that idea. Okay.
Stacy Sacco has a question. Stacy, are you ready?
Yeah, it's just really a couple of quick questions. Good morning, Ava, and good morning, everybody.
Hey.
I was just curious because we've talked about identifying someone's brand. You do that up front when they're starting their business, or further in after they really better understand who their customers are? When's the best time to have that discussion?
Ooh.
Yeah, at the very beginning, and it's something we keep coming back to. Sometimes we'll discover a new competitor and we'll say, whoa, these people are doing something very similar to what we are. Let's talk about it and see what we offer that they don't, and make that a little more clear. And also, especially with how things just changed overnight with COVID, a lot of businesses are revisiting their messaging and how they're positioning themselves to best meet the needs that people are experiencing right now.
Thank you. The other quick question was, I know you're working on a list. We absolutely need a list for Northern New Mexico business resources. When I had somebody call me the other day, they're moving to Santa Fe, bringing their business there. And I thought, I should connect them to you, because I assume you're a little bit further down into that list now. Would be
cool. Yeah, Stacy puts out these awesome lists of resources in New Mexico, people to network with. And I've actually been working through that to provide a little bit more detail on some of the ones that are most useful for small businesses, so that I can kind of write a review of each one and provide a little more curated of a list that way. So that's something I'm working on now.
Well, I know I had a very short list of Northern New Mexico, which you said, well, and I know you can totally improve on that. That thing needs work. So glad you're adopting that. And I'll just send everybody, I get requests. I get lots of emails from people moving to New Mexico. So I'll send them to you.
Cool. Thanks.
You'll be the Northern New Mexico ambassador, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, it's really exciting. organizations like this and seeing people that are really active online right now.
So thank you. Good to see you again.
You too.
Coral Han also has a question. Are you ready, Coral? Let me check if they're there. Yeah. Anyway, so Coral wanted to know who was the connector in New Mexico you had mentioned?
It's Stacy Sacco.
Okay, that's the one we just talked. Okay, so Michael McDonald had a question. Are you ready, Michael?
Yes, I am.
Great.
So I really perked up when you said that some of your clients are searching to all online. I think that's like really an interesting, like, take advantage of a bad, world gave us lemons, let's get some lemonade going. What are you doing to identify other businesses ripe for that sort of transition so that to build your business?
Yeah, LinkedIn has some really awesome features for being able to search by number of employees, by industry, and it's also a good way to look at a company and see if they already have a marketing department. So I think the LinkedIn tools are really valuable.
Plus, I suppose, Stacy.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see more information moving online because there's just more visibility now.
Well, cool. So it looks like we've got those questions. So you might have mentioned this when Sonia talked about it, but in your picture there, what's the box about? Is that your Zen box?
Yeah, there's been anytime I have a box anywhere, people ask me if it's the Zen box. Actually, the name is really a reminder for me to kind of always step back and take the 30,000 foot view, overhead view of what's going on and try to really relax and focus, and because the business is all about letting people focus on their passions and what they're good at, and not spreading ourselves too thin. So that was one of our business challenges, is really dedicate ourselves to our clients and not try to help everyone, because then you end up helping nobody. So if you notice, almost everything digitally is a box. Websites are made of boxes. You have an inbox where you're getting emails. So within just working with all these boxes, how do we create something that's meaningful for someone, and a means of connection, and a way for business owners to just focus on the business that they're passionate about and not have to worry about, should I be posting on Facebook right now? How can I, improve my website? Like, we'll take care of all that, because that's what we like to do.
Cool. Well, thank you. That's actually, I didn't expect to get a good explanation for the Zen box yet, and that was actually a question in my head. So it looks like we are at the point where I'm going to ask you the last two questions. So first one is red or green?
Always Christmas.
All right. And then how can we help you as a community?
Yeah, I think reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm always looking for ways of cross-promoting with other businesses for Zenbox marketing for my clients. Maybe there are opportunities for Zenbox to do a guest post on your blog, or maybe we know someone in common, or we can just talk about marketing. So I think just reach out and see if there's a way we can connect.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys very much. And so next up, we are going to have our activity, which is, Paul, you're going to lead that, right? We're going to do shout outs. Can you explain what shout outs are?
Sure. So a shout out is an opportunity to express your congratulations or your gratitude for someone else in the community besides your own company and your own people for doing something amazing. And it's really a challenging time. So it's been interesting to look around and see, who's still doing well, who's pivoted, and who's doing things that we could all learn something from, or who serves as a great example. So this week's shout out was just a story that crossed my feed in Facebook, and I'm going to post the link. I'd like to give a shout out to Ubiquity, the Quantum Dot people. They just got a nice spread in Fast Company, and they're really doing very well, like 5 years into their lifetime. When I first encountered them 5 years ago, they were just talking about science, and now they're talking about what that science can do for you without talking about the science hardly at all. So I admire that greatly, and I think I could personally learn a lot from that. And I have to say, they're really doing an outstanding job. And the link's in the comments, so go look at the Fast Company article.
All right, anyone else has some shout outs? Feel free to put it in the chat, and then we can unmute you, or you can unmute yourself and also share it with us live. All right, well, I'm trying to think, there's always someone who's done something amazing in Albuquerque, and I'm trying to think of who that is. But I think number one, I want to share KRQE has been doing some stories on local businesses that are have changed during this time and what they're doing. And so I really appreciate that a local news station is actually doing some positive news about local businesses. So shout out to KRQE. Yeah. All right, so Jason, do you want to share your shout out?
Yeah, my shout out is to David Murphy of Core Visual. Besides making awesome videos and content for clients in Albuquerque, he's always available to answer my beginner video gear questions. Like the other day, I was making a video and I was getting frustrated with my wired mic. And I was like, I'll pay $1,000 for a wireless mic. And turns out I won't pay $1,000 for that, but I recommended one that's really good and more reasonably priced, and I won't get frustrated with wires anymore. So he's always available to answer my quick beginner video questions. So I appreciate that. Thanks, David.
Cool. All right, Chapman Grubb, do you want to share yours?
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's been really cool working with the Activate New Mexico Business Accelerator through CNM. They did a really good job switching to virtual during the COVID crisis, and it's made it a lot more accessible for more companies, so we don't have to go down to Albuquerque every single week.
Nice.
By the way, Chapman's going to be presenting next week.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. And your company is? Or his company?
We're Rerouted Co-op. We're a used outdoor adventure gear business.
What? Oh, this sounds exciting. Okay. I'm looking forward to next week. All right. So Eric, you had a shout out as well.
I'll unmute myself. So yeah, so actually Chapman and I sort of were coming in the same time. So I put the information. They've got their Activate New Mexico, they've got their Stay Engaged event every Friday. Really good stuff. This Friday is Ganymede Games. They're out of Las Cruces. Top-notch talent. It's a really good asset. So they'll be talking a little bit about game development in the time of COVID-19, but also TJ and Dan set up a really good event with a lot of opportunity for discussion among the folks who are in the room. But since he already mentioned that a little bit, I'll also give a shout out to Kick-Ass Entrepreneurs. We heard a little bit from them last week. And Eric Streeper, who was one of our presenters last week, is going to be at their next event, and that's coming up on June 4th. So yeah, really good event, usually Santa Fe based, but as Chapman says, or Chapman notes, if you don't have an opportunity to go to these events all the time, this is a good time to kind of poke your head in to see what's happening in different parts around the country, different parts around the state. So definitely check that out. Thanks.
Ooh, cool. All right, David Murphy, you're up next.
Well, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Paul, who's a legit scientist. And during this whole pandemic, he posts a lot of really good information on his Facebook feed, as well as just available for, questions through Messenger about, people like me who aren't scientists that don't know anything, trying to wrap their head around this whole situation. Paul's just an awesome resource. So thanks, Paul.
Right. I totally agree. I love checking his page for new stuff.
Well, thank you very much. I should also say that Be Greater Than Average recorded a podcast of me talking really fast about COVID-19 and possibly edited it to be intelligible. So I'll also post that in the chat.
Cool. I also feel, Paul, you need headphones that are like the Princess Leia hair.
Yeah, I could just put a cinnamon bun on either side.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, Charles Garrison, you're up next.
All right. So I was just talking to a friend at Exhibit Solution, or I'm sorry, Exhibit. So DJ Heckey's has been, they're one of the hardest hit businesses just because they do trade show banners and things of that nature. There's really no opportunity at this moment for that. So they've kind of done a pivot. They've started to make masks, and they're making face shields, and they're making, products that hand sanitizer containers, things that kind of are in line with what they do already, but a good strong pivot to meet the current need. That's also easy to step back from when that dwindles.
Okay, great. All right, any shout outs to other awesome things going on in Albuquerque, or awesome people doing awesome things? Okay.
Yeah, I've so people talk about the doctors and everything and how they're doing a great job, but I've actually had experience the past few weeks because of my newborn. Just through, and they're doing a lot with such a skeletal amount of people there. So I want to give a shout out to our health workers.
Cool. All right.
Couple of quick shout outs, Sonia.
Okay.
About half this audience here has spoken to my classes. Love what you guys do. Paul wowed my classes. Lisa came a couple times. I could look at so many of you. Ava came a couple times. Now I've got another thing coming up, so appreciate that. The one person that I see sort of just her picture is Julia Jones. I don't know if all you know, when she came in and spoke to my class, she did a whole thing on crowdfunding. I don't know if you're still doing that, Julia, but wow, that was great to understand more about how all that happens. And one last person is Jason. I forwarded one. I love your emails. He always sends out these cool emails with amazing pictures. You should get on his mailing list. And I just forwarded it on to Laryl Lynch at Albuquerque, the magazine. And he's like, who is this guy? He knows you, I assume. And I think he wants to put an article in about you in the magazine. So, but thank you, Jason, for your emails. Love them.
Cool. All right. I'm going to give you guys like a few more seconds here. Actually, Eric, do you have anything else that we should cover today before we close up?
Let's see. So I seeded the other events and announcement kind of stuff throughout the chat. I think I hit, yeah. I'm not sure. Did I mention Taza? I may not have. So one of the spin-offs of 1 Million Cups is a group called Taza, which basically is cup. And I'm not rocking my 1 Million Cups cup. I can't believe it. I'm not sure what kind of mugs we've got in the audience, but I feel like I failed today. But Taza is now online. And I think they're going online. I think it's every Thursday of the month, basically from 9 to 10 a.m. And they are sort of a bilingual version of 1 Million Cups. The woman who's speaking tomorrow is Carmen Bolivar. She's got a, boy, I think I'm going to get the the name of the event wrong. Quinceañera dresses. She is she's a dynamo entrepreneur in the South Valley, really, really good. But she has an event space, which of course I'm sure is hit hard. I'm not sure what's going on with quinceañeras right now. So, so I'm interested in checking that out, but that's tomorrow morning. And I put the information in the chat, and we'll probably throw it out through the 1 Million Cups channels as well. But that's the last one I got. Oh, Adam, because I was going to go to you, Adam. I think you've got an event on Friday as well.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I've got Friday Flows on for entrepreneurs happening on Wednesday or on Fridays. I started it because I wanted another event since they were all closing down, and it kind of had a good start. And I've just put it on Meetup now and put it out there, and I want to see if this is actually something people want to do. It's had a few people showing up, so if it's a great event and it gives the people a space to talk about businesses and how to make things flow better, that'd be great. It's on Friday mornings. I've switched to 9 o'clock, and you can get it on the Meetup, so that you also have 1 Million Cups. Or you can go to Adam's Sparks or to sparksflow.com. So I can post that in just a moment. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, but I also want to have things that are useful. And if it's one of those things that like people are like, oh, we've got plenty of Zoom meetings, then we'll move on to something else. Oh, and this topic this week is things we've learned from the first year of our business, because this has been my first year of business, starting in April, actually. Thank you.
I think, let's see, Jason's comment in the chat is a really good one. I'm not sure that we want to go into a discussion or whatever, but he mentions that, so many people are looking for things online. It's tough to know what's open, when it's open, all those other kinds of things. So just the suggestion that you update the forward-facing, the public-facing areas like Google, whatever Google is doing to kind of show off your business. Same thing with Facebook. Those things are really, really invaluable right now.
Can I ask Ava, what are you suggesting to people about what to do right now to get yourself online like Eric's talking about?
Yeah, we're actually writing an article on it right now. But some of the things we're recommending is, and a lot of these things Brandy had pointed out is, to me, is especially on your Google My Business page, making sure that you still say open, even if you're only open through your website, and really providing details about what you're doing, how you've shifted your business, if people can get curbside pickup, or putting that on your Google My Business page on the front page of your website.
So I'm just going to share how pervasive this online thing has become. This is not directly related to business, but if you're aggressive, you might see this as an opportunity. My niece is a third-year medical student, and all of their potential residency match tours are now being virtualized. So they have a video walkthrough of the facility and video interviews with all potential residences. So if you just think about the volume, just that little niche alone, the volume of video production and assistance with going online to groups that are not particularly good at it. I mean, lots of people are thinking about when this lightens up in a year and a half or two, how are they going to be lined up with people trying to match to them, whether that's residencies or something else. So virtual tours right now and virtual interviews are a huge opportunity. And those of you who are aggressive know how to take advantage of opportunities. Go get them.
Well, and I want to mention too, so this is a good time. So I should say Peter Oakley mentioned in comments that Ava gave him a 5-star recommendation on his Google Biz page. This is a great time to go out there and ask people who've used your business to give you a review, whether that's on Facebook or on Google pages, or to give you a testimonial for your website. Because those things increase the chances that someone's going to hire you or buy your product.
Yeah. That also something that we've been talking about with 1 Million Cups in the back chats is whether we want to leave this open or create rooms or something too. I don't know if this might be a time we can discuss with other people they want it. Because for me, I know that what I really miss, and that's the reason I started the other discussion, was like discussion amongst people like afterwards, and seeing how we can help each other out. So.
Right, I agree, and I kind of feel like, and especially because we have time here, we have 18 minutes, and we have all of you guys here. Like, what could we discuss that could help all of you? Excuse me.
Yeah. So Michael likes the breakout rooms, and I think if we figured that system out, Activate New Mexico does a great job of that. But they have it like real structured. They know what they're going to do ahead of time. So we could say like, we could maybe have someone like bring up ideas and they could create a room and you could go to that. And it also is a cool way to learn how to navigate in and out of rooms.
Right. So what we could do, hold on.
Uh-oh.
What?
I was playing with the rooms feature as you were speaking. So
okay.
I think you can do it now.
Okay. All right. Well, what we can do is maybe if you guys want to give us some ideas in the chat as to what things you might want to discuss after a presentation, so we can come up with some ideas here so that we don't just end when we're done with the presentation, so that we can keep you guys connected to each other. So if you have ideas, feel free to share them in the chat. And then Brandy, you just shared with us, be aware that Google has suspended reviews on some businesses during COVID-19. Well, that's kind of rude.
Yeah, I like Chapman's question, and I know we've got some good social media and marketing folks in the room, some real pros. So I don't know, Chapman, do you want to ask that question?
Well, he said it's loud in the warehouse, so I'll ask.
So he may not be able to. So his question was, they're having a tough time getting people to share and engage with their social media platform. Any general thoughts besides giveaways? So I'm interested in getting that from the group, but I think also this is a time where, if you were ever going to help and promote businesses and share where you're going and all that kind of stuff, now's really the time to do it, whatever social media platform you're using. So, yeah, I would love to get some suggestions about other ways to get folks to engage on social.
And that is an excellent question. Who would like to address that first?
Well, I'm really interested. I got a quiet moment. I just wanted to clarify, like, definitely the growth is really what we're building traction, but it's super gradual. And you see all these people that accelerate really fast. And I'm just wondering if anybody has thoughts towards that.
I'll throw in my 2 cents. I hear what you're saying about the acceleration, but I really believe in the slow and steady wins the race approach. I mean, Jason's a great example. He is very diligent about just consistently posting content, and that even if people aren't engaging with it, sometimes we measure it because of the reactions we're getting, but people are seeing it, I guarantee you. And LinkedIn, I can't, Ava brought that up too. It's just can't understate how important that is. Like one of the methods I do on LinkedIn is I'll go in the search and just type in, for example, I could type in Albuquerque marketing. And then I get a whole litany of people, some I'm connected with, some I'm not, but it just is a way to drill in and figure out, okay, who's this person and do I want to connect with them? And it's not like Facebook where you typically need to know somebody or know somebody that knows them. LinkedIn's just amazing. So I would just go with that slow and steady wins the race philosophy myself.
To add to that, I feel like, and I agree with David, because what you're kind of focusing on is connecting with those people who are really going to be interested in what you do and will connect with your product. Same thing for your email list, right? You want those people on your email list who are actually going to buy from you. So, but, and at a minimum, I would say you need to post at least twice a week on Facebook. Once a day is better, but twice a week at a minimum. And you're still going to get people looking. But specifically for Facebook, if you create a post that people are liking, make sure to go in there and invite them to like your page if they haven't already. That's something I do on a weekly basis, is go in there and look and see who hasn't liked my page, but they've liked my posts. And then things to post, think about if your business is outdoor gear, sharing posts about simple things people can do to get outdoors, where they can go, what places are open right now. Maybe an article about finding places that aren't overcrowded, because I saw a post about a remote area in New Mexico, and the street was just lined with cars of people who had gone there to take the day outdoors, and there were like too many people. But just things related to right now, what people can do outdoors, my suggestion.
Hi, Sonia. Could I add to that?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is Julia. Hi, everybody. I definitely see a lot of engagement on Facebook, but you know where I'm seeing a lot of engagement right now is on Instagram, and through Instagram stories and sharing content from other people, because what you could do is you could share it through your stories. What I'm seeing is that if you ask questions, that's a way to engage with people. I definitely agree that slow and steady wins the race. Follow to be followed and engage to be engaged. So you have to actually follow other people in order for them to even find you. I'm seeing a lot of interaction on Twitter as well. I think Facebook is still, I mean, it's an advertising platform. So unless I'm paying into it, it's really hard for me to get the engagement, but I would love to chat with anybody about Instagram. I'm doing you could feel free to check it out. It's an account called Albuquerque Bilingual Academy. And the way that we're getting engagement this week, sorry, that's my 14-month-old son there. The way that we're getting engagement this week is I asked some community leaders and businesses, hey, can you do congratulations to our 8th graders who are graduating on Friday? And sure enough, several business owners are creating videos for them. So I think it's not just necessarily talking about your product or service. I think it's actually sharing a lot of content from other people, because there's some really good content out there. And I just wanted to add that. But I'd love to chat with anybody after this. I'll share my email address, and I would love to chat social media with anybody at any time.
I just have a few thoughts. Taking from what I've heard today, I'm really impressed with the ZenBox marketing idea and having a strategy, doing things with intention, on purpose, taking it slow and steady, and understanding that just because it doesn't connect immediately doesn't mean it's not valid or not good. Because there's a bit of serendipity to this whole thing. I mean, who would have thought that a man nearing his 100th birthday who wanted to march in his backyard to raise $1,200 would raise $40 million? I don't know that anyone could have predicted that. So part of that is preparing for success so that you can seize it and leverage it. I've seen over the years a lot of people, I don't think they intentionally did this, but they weren't prepared to succeed. And so they put themselves out there, they got an overwhelming response, and then couldn't handle it. On the other side of that coin are the people who thought they would succeed immediately, didn't, and gave up. So I think the core of it is having true intention and purpose, and then having a plan that's built on a strategy and then listen to the marketplace, because everyone sees their business from inside their business. I think when Ava was talking, it sparked the thought that what she and her firm provides is the ability to see your business from outside the window as others see it, and kind of counter that bias that we all have about our own business. So it's kind of it's a systemic thing, and all of the parts are somewhat equal, and they all have to be respected. So that's my thought for the day.
Well, I want to mention, who was it? Brandy mentions asking users to share how they're using your product or service. And this would be perfect for sports equipment. And that's actually a great recommendation for anyone who has a product. As an author, I use pictures of people reading my book, as there's a marketing book out there that says, you know, people like me do things like this, right? So if someone sees a picture of someone like themselves with the equipment or the book or the thing, they're more likely to purchase the product. So, and that's a great example, Brandy. Thank you. All right, well, Ava, do you want to talk about a bit about how growing your social media followers?
Yeah, I'll just real fast show this diagram that I made. This is exploring some of those soft skills that go into driving engagement and driving a presence online. And I love that Alan talked about setting the intention first, because I put that at the top of this kind of story circle. I kind of thought about my own journey of really trying to move the needle and trying to see results. And it starts, if you're doing it on your own, you know, dedicate at least an hour a day. I think 2 hours a day is really a great amount of time, and just setting that intention. And what we do is we set goals and we break it into mini goals, and then every week looking and seeing what worked this week, what didn't, and having that patience. And I think the curiosity is another huge element of once you start spending more time in it and following other people who are in your same realm, then you start to be more involved and see it as your own social outlet, because people are on social media because it's a social outlet. So once you're engaged personally, and then you're seeing, oh, this is really funny, I'm going to share this with a friend. Well, why did you want to share that? Is everything that you're posting something that you would actually want to share on your personal page or show a friend if you were getting coffee together? So I think the soft skills and just really throwing yourself into it and being involved and being curious is, I think, more important than sometimes we go to a webinar on how to get more likes on Instagram and all these kind of technical things that that really, I think, don't matter as much as the intention and the love that you pour into it.
Well, that brought another idea to me, or reminded me of something too, is looking to see what your competitors are doing. In Facebook, you can add comparisons to other organizations. So for example, I manage Duke City Roller Derby, and we look at other roller derby leagues to see what they are posting and how they're doing. And so that helps us kind of figure out what our content might be. So just looking at a competitor can help. Okay, we got 4 minutes. Who else has some ideas about getting more followers on your social media?
I actually have something to harken back to at the events, or not the events, but the shout outs. And I forgot about it, but Eric actually posted on Lemonade was and I don't know where all the links are at the moment, but there was a local company up in Santa Fe, or a local group of people that put on a fundraiser, and it was live performances. And then you could, while you're watching, the way that you would buy tickets, there were free tickets, but then you could donate. And if you donated during that time, it would go towards whatever effort. But that was really cool. So I wanted to give that a shout out, because I think they did a splendid job, and that was a nice evening.
I've got one more to add on that LinkedIn for Chapman and others. Whenever I post on LinkedIn, especially, you want to try to tag as many people that were involved in the project by using the @ and then their name, so that it becomes a hyperlink. And so often I'll say, I may share a post from one of our clients and say, here's a video we did for our awesome client @ and then name them, and then also putting in the hashtags for everything that's relevant to what you're doing as well in those posts.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for sharing your ideas, because I know this helps other people as well as they're building their social media. And Chapman wants to thank everyone for your input as well.
And speaking of ways to promote your business, I would say we're always looking for presenters. We're always looking for folks to, so if you're a presenter, sometimes we have repeat presenters, but if you know somebody whose story would be good, it's not really a pitch, it's not really a sales thing. And I think the folks on the team and the folks who really have been with us with 1 Million Cups for a long time know that. But it really is, it's more of an opportunity to tell the story of the entrepreneur and how and why they started their business and how their business operates. And the way I describe it sort of behind the scenes when we're talking, coaching our presenters is we want folks to promote you, but we want them to promote you because they get on your side. We want the folks who are in our audience to really understand who you are as an entrepreneur, but also understand enough about your business so that they, number one, can ask really good questions so we can have a really good conversation in the room. But number two, that way they know enough about you so that if they're talking to somebody else, or they know of another business, or they know people who might benefit from your product or service, that they can make the most of it. So it helps if we get, more and more great presenters, so big thanks to our presenter today. But the more presenters we've got in the flow, the more that helps get out to the wider community. And one thing that I especially like about what's happening now is we've had a number of presenters we might not have otherwise seen from Santa Fe and other locations. So now's the time to get folks from throughout New Mexico and even beyond. So that's my little soapbox. I'll get off, but 1mcabq.com. It's fairly easy, fairly painless, and encourage people to sign up.
Thanks for coming.
Cool. All right. It is 10 a.m. Thank you all for coming, and hope to see you all next week at 1 Million Cups. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Oh, yes. Good stuff. All right. 3, 2, 1.
5.
Oh, it's not letting me stay on the end meeting for all. All right.